Ahora sí.
Okay, I think I'm good. Ready?
Salud.
Salud, wait. Let's go, Cesar.
Let's get it, man.
I feel like it's been a bit, but it's just been a week.
Right.
Mucho ha pasado.
See, I was gone for the weekend, out hiking.
That's true. How was that?
No cell service up there. It was great, man. It was good to like tune out, disconnect for a bit, but at the same time, I was kind of missing soccer, EPL.
No viste nada, huh?
No mire nada. Ya
Voy a hablar solo yo como pendejo on this podcast.
No, but it was good. Spend it with the family. It was a family trip. So it was cool to kind of like just chill and chill with them.
Look beautiful, man. You threw some pictures in the Discord.
Yeah.
Amazing. Y'all need to get out there and touch some grass, man. Listen to this podcast out in your local park. Lay down. Look at a rock.
Anything.
I don't know.
Just go for a walk.
Just a little something. The research has proven just going out there, touching some grass, looking at a rock, looking at a tree can help you psychologically, mentally, can help that mental health. Let's get it, y'all. Take care of your body. Welcome back, folks. Episode 67. I am Omar here con su servidor, Cesar. We got an action-packed agenda for you guys, per usual. A whole bunch of top news. Apparently, the World Cup was rigged.
According to some people.
According to some top sources. Very, very inside in the now. We got a whole bunch of transfers. I have a list of transfers on here. A lot of people, because the transfer windows were closing, right? There's still people moving. So we'll go over those. We'll take it around the leagues. Every league and they mamas, every single one across the world had some games. And then we'll bring it on home with what we're excited about, where there are no more games. International break is upon us this weekend. I think there's still some good games to watch. So we'll go over that. But yeah, let's get it, Cesar.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Vámonos. Yeah, first thing in top news. Apparently, Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Louis van Gaal, I think he's the ex-coach of the Netherlands. He was the coach at the last World Cup. I don't know if they fired him or not. They should now. But he said that both of them said that the World Cup was rigged for Argentina, which is them's be fighting words.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I saw this note and I thought it was funny that the Dutch or Netherlands was complaining about a PK and people stepping in when they weren't supposed to and making it seem.
Yeah, they're on.
Ahora sí no era penal. Ahora sí quieren injusticia. Ahora sí están diciendo, yo, it wasn't fair. What about what happened in 2014?
That's true. Now, yeah. Louis van Gaal came out and said, I don't really want to say much about it. When you see how Argentina gets the goals and how we get the goals and how some Argentina players overstepped the mark and were not punished, then I think it was a premeditated game. Wow. It's a bold statement. And then Zlatan was apparently getting asked things by a whole bunch of fans. And he made some jaw-dropping comments, according to this article, where he said, when asked about whether the World Cup was rigged or written up in favor of Lionel Messi, he said, I think it's already written who will win. And you know who I mean. I think Messi will lift the trophy. It's already written. I think this was a throwback video, which is kind of interesting.
That's coming out such a random time.
Yeah, it started going viral this week, which is kind of funky. But yeah, apparently not only do the sleuths of Twitter believe that, but some folks that are involved in the game heavily. The Louis van Gaal one was trippy to me. Like, I understand, like, yeah, you're salty that you lost, but to say the whole thing was like rigged is another thing. Even Mexico fans with the no era penal, they're not saying like the Netherlands rigged the whole tournament. They're just like, oh, we just want that call not to go that way.
Yeah, like it was just that specific call. Yeah, I don't understand why he's bringing this up now. I don't know if he's got like why bring it up? It's like it happened like 8 months ago, whatever. Like, why didn't you bring it up like a month after it happened?
I mean, nobody's gonna do anything about it. But
Yeah, and nobody's gonna do about anything now either. So like,
yeah,
it's just a waste of breath.
yeah. I
Let
don't
it
know.
go, man.
Just a little salty. I mean, maybe he's fighting for his job. I don't know. Trying to bring up why he should be allowed. Well, because we only lost because they stole the damn game, dog. No, it's a lot. They be doing too much. Speaking about doing too much, Anthony is apparently going to be cut from the Brazil squad and possibly from Manchester United for domestic violence accusations on behalf of his partner back in Brazil. So I don't know if he's even allowed back in Brazil because then he probably will get prosecuted. Manchester United is just full of these assholes, apparently, and they send him away. And then you look at the Mason Greenwood. Apparently, his loan thing says that if he has good performance, he can come back.
Jeez,
That just tells you like where their mind's at. But let's move it on to brighter notes and get it brighter because we're talking about Brighton first. And transfers, Ansu Fati to Brighton. I think that's a great transfer.
I thought
It's the most randomest shit ever.
It is,
but I think
so
it's
random.
very good for both parties.
Mm-hmm. I think Ansu Fati va caer bien in Brighton. Like his playing style fits what like the Zerbi's trying to do. And it's a good opportunity for both teams. They both need the help.
Yeah. The interesting thing to me is whether he's going to start. You would think this Barcelona Academy superstar would walk in straight into the whatever position he wanted. But I was talking to my coworker, shout out Edwing. He was telling me like he could play the false nine, he could play wide, right? False nine, they just paid for Joao Pedro, and he's playing there. And Ciso just got hurt, so yeah, maybe he can fight it out with Joao Pedro. He plays on the right side. Right side is Solly March, who's an amazing player on the right. And then if you're like, yeah, but maybe we can switch him to the other side. Mitoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, no, he's definitely going to have his work cut out for him. I can see him taking over that spot over Joao Pedro because they were giving it back to Enciso anyways after like a week or two. But maybe he'll take over Solly March's spot. But he definitely should get minutes.
Yeah, and those minutes he has to make them count.
Yeah.
If he wants to stay in the squad, I feel like the best case scenario is for him to take over that false nine position that you're mentioning, and just come out, get some plays in like he did at Barcelona, score some goals, and yeah, try to get the best out of it. This is only a loan, and he's gonna go back to Barcelona next season.
Yeah, probably just helping out with the wages.
Yeah, I think they're paying like 70% of his wage, something like that.
That's not great still. God damn. All right. I love this one. You got to love this one. Sergio Ramos to Sevilla.
The homecoming for Sergio Ramos.
Homecoming back to your boyhood club. They did his presentation today, and the boy cried because they were chanting Sergio, Sergio. And I was like, oh, my God.
He was cutting the onions.
I know. He turned down Saudi interest. He turned down Manchester United. He turned down contract extensions at PSG. Like, literally, MLS, right? He was rumored to Inter to go back to the club that put you on. That's crazy. That's like a dream.
Yeah, it's like you see it less and less, especially as like Saudi Arabia is coming up and
that big money.
Yeah, the big money, MLS. But like the only one that I can remember is David Silva at Real Sociedad.
De vez en cuando you'll see people come back. Nobody comes back to Chivas. What the fuck? Or America, honestly. They just go to Los Regios. They don't when they come back.
A ver, Ochoa came back.
Diego Reyes. Like a Salcido. Salcido did come back to Chivas. Yeah. But Massa Rodriguez went to America. Well, I don't know. It's a little funky when money gets involved. I think that's what it is.
But yeah, this Sergio Ramos today was amazing. You saw all the little kids from the
school kids, right?
Right, from La Sevilla.
From the academy? Is that who they were?
Yeah.
Damn.
Just as he was crying, bawling his eyes out, they go up there and just start hugging him. and it was amazing to
No
watch.
llores, Cesar. Ay.
It's like that's what you want to see, man.
For real, dude. Like, yeah, dude, those are the great soccer stories you want to hear about, and like he's gonna be a god there, right? Like, it's killer. Hopefully, he brings them back because they're struggling. Oh Jesus, I think they're in relegation right now.
Yeah, I think they're last or second to last.
Damn. All right, in the Premier League, Sofian Amrabat to United. There was some big hype around him after the World Cup because he did amazing at the Six with Morocco. Was everywhere, box to box, por todos lados. Not very. I don't know. I kind of saw him as not being super three-dimensional, not having like super great attacking skills to him. But de que hacía todo en la media, he hacía todo. He would do everything.
Yeah, he'd be running around everywhere. You'd literally see him around the pitch.
Like a straight up warrior in that middle too.
Just an engine that is always going. But I think this move is going to test him, and it's going to, first of all, he would come in as for Casemiro, right?
Mm-hmm. Or he can play on the next to him because they've been playing Eriksson next to him, who naturally doesn't play that much. I mean, he's not like a full 90 type of guy.
Yeah. And
but
I mean,
they had Sabitzer for a bit.
And United need like help in defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be good for him. It's going to be a good test.
I'm sure it's a big leadership play too. This guy seems to be like
a good
pinche perro. So maybe he'll get that dog in the rest of the squad too. His brother plays for AEK Athens. Fun fact.
I thought that was him, dude.
Yeah, friends of the podcast, AEK Athens. They got the boy. And apparently they found a little slight back injury during his medical exams. So as of this moment, we haven't heard that it's going to pull it back, but we have heard of the cases where they find things in the medical and they say, yo, give me my money back, dog. I don't want this player. Oh, come on.
Damn.
That happened to El Mundo Aguirre, to Cruz Azul.
Yeah.
They found a knee injury.
Yeah, hopefully this doesn't happen to him. And it's only a loan, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're just helping pay the wages a bit. In other news, we got Cesar Montes, the boy, to Almeria for a club record fee of 14 million, almost 15 million, 11 million plus extras.
That's a crazy fee for Almeria.
And the owner of Almeria, the homeboy, came out and said that they saw how much he wanted to leave and go to Almeria, like he wanted the club. Obviously, because he wanted to get the fuck out of the second division. But he said that when you see a player with that much want, that much desire to go to your team, you do what you need to get him. I think originally his fee was around 11 to 12, and then Espanyol did that dirty move last minute where they asked for more, and they gave him more. Like, tómala. ¿Qué más quieres, papá? Quitamos.
Damn.
We got that wallet too.
It almost didn't happen, but I'm glad it's happening. He gets to play first division footy. Almeria is also fighting in the relegation right now. I mean, it's only been 3 weeks, but I feel he's going to start every minute.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
And he's going to, I mean, there's no way that he's not. If you're the club record fee, the club, you're breaking records there, but we'll see what they can put together with him. They are in second to last right now, only above Sevilla. So it's gonna get tough. They got Villarreal, Valencia, and Sevilla next. Puta madre. A ver cómo les va. Con César Montes es posible, güey, con la Torre.
Yeah, and then he's also been scoring.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna need it. I mean, when he first joined Espanyol, remember he scored like 2 goals,
and then he scored a chilena.
This fool's like, I gotta pull out everything. And they still went down.
Pobres.
Hasta Superman no pudo, güey. A little bit more local to my heart. Las Chivas de Guadalajara. They got Teun Wilke, a wonder kid, Mexican wonder kid. He's also half Dutch, 20 years old. Just a bit of context for folks that don't know too much about him. He was going up the ranks at the youth level, mainly playing in Europe. He played for a Dutch squad, U19s, and started breaking through to the youth Mexico squad. I think like U17s, U18s, U19s at that point. He moved over to Spal U19s in Italy. And then from there, he moved on to Cercle Bruges to their youth academy and actually broke through to the first squad. Apparently nobody signed him for this upcoming season. His contract ended with Cercle Bruges. So he was looking for first team squad. Rumors were America at first. And he ended up going to Tapatío, which is Chivas' affiliate second division squad, with the hopes of moving up to Chivas.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, very exciting player. He's a center attacking midfielder or forward. And he's pretty tall. He's 6'3".
Let's go.
So that's good. The problem is now, like, do you see him fitting into that Chivas first team?
With Tapatío, 100%.
Yeah.
I think he can play as much as he wants there, even though he'll be fighting for a little bit of minutes with Luis Puente, who's like that superstar kid that Chivas is trying to get up.
Yeah.
But Chivas is needing a 9. This weekend, Ricardo Marin, their striker, the Band-Aid that they put over that position, he scored a header against Monterrey, a nice header. He looked clinical. But he needs to do something extraordinary to break out, right? If you just do normal things in that Tapatío squad, you're not going to move up just because of who you are. So he needs to tear it up in the Liga de Expansión, and then hopefully Chivas come knocking to pull him up. Because if not, he's going to become a Liga MX lifer.
Yeah, and he's going into a good team in Tapatío, right? They just won the Liga de Ascenso, or the second division of Mexico. So he's not going into like some lower tier team, mid-table, or anything like that. Like, he's going to have the tools around him. He has to make his mark and score. And so heads can turn, and he can go to Chivas.
Yeah. I saw people making jokes on Twitter being like, fuck it, if Chivas don't want him, we'll just go to Juarez.
Bruh.
They'd be signing everybody from Chivas.
No, yeah, I mean, again, I really hope he proves me wrong, because I think there's something wrong with Chivas Academy and Chivas' process of moving players up.
Yeah. I mean, the past year or so have looked better. Yeah, Padilla, U17 on the first, starting over great players. Campillo is there. He just moved away, pero es Buquet, right? So now it's a matter of if those players can take the next step professionally and become great players rather than just like Liga MX recycled players.
Yeah.
The last note that I wanted to have, more of a transfer rumor, but Evan Ferguson, the stud that will go over, scored a hat-trick this weekend, is being rumored to Manchester City. The Irish striker from Brighton. He went in this past weekend in for Welbeck, who was injured, and he scored a hattie, and already, boom, got that phone call from Guardiola. Hey. Tell him not to beef up that price too much, but vente pa' acá.
Damn, like, he's 18 years old.
And he already scored a hattie, dog.
He already scored a hattie. He's playing in the toughest league in the world. No wonder Manchester City is trying to...
I mean, he's a fucking monster. He's hella tall.
6'2".
Yeah, and he literally kind of looks like a broke man's Holland out there this past weekend, just dominating these grown-ass men. Let's get right into that. We'll take it around the leagues. Ferguson scored a hat-trick with Brighton, and Brighton won over the weekend, and that was great for my fantasy. Ya vamos a empezar otra vez, van a decir, con pinche fantasy.
Not great for mine, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, but you didn't even care. You were on fucking out, and you had no service. You don't even know what happened. But there were 3 hat-tricks over the weekend. Ferguson scored 1, Haaland scored 1, and they got a easy win over Fulham. And then, surprisingly, Tottenham put up 5 goals, and Son got a hat-trick.
No Kane, no problem.
They said no Kane, no problem. They're like, I don't know, who?
Kane who?
Kane who? We got Son. We got El Cuti Romero scored 1. Madison, who somebody in the Discord hot take when we go over the episode said that he will be seen as one of the top midfielders in the Premier League this year. He scored again.
Yeah, he's putting in work the past 4 weeks.
All these previously relegated superstar players are killing it.
Like James Ward-Prowse.
yeah, maybe these teams need to start dipping into that market and pulling up. Hey, you want to be a first division player again? For the Tottenham game, they won 5-2 over Burnley. Burnley's not looking good. Neither is Luton Town.
No.
Neither is really Sheffield United, but they're barely out of the last spot because Everton is just worse than them. But this class of 2023-24 is not looking good.
No. Unfortunately, I thought maybe Burnley was going to somewhat break through, but they just haven't. They've had some tough teams lately.
Yeah.
But, this is the Premier League.
I just figured Burnley would at least be a tougher team to beat or to thrash really badly because they come from the school of Company, right?
Yeah.
So I figured he would have that defensive line tight. They could get a bunch of draws in the season, figure out a way to accumulate some points, but it's just not looking like it. And Luton Town, I personally think they're probably going to get last. But Sheffield United or Burnley, I don't know. I would think they would make it more interesting, but we got a whole long way to go. So maybe they can pick it up. They're getting more players in for transfers. There's a whole different transfer window later to try to pick it up. So we'll see if they can do something. Speaking of transfer windows, Nottingham Forest, who redoes their team every freaking transfer window, they beat Chelsea 1-0.
Chelsea just in the mud.
They just can't find a way to win.
They spent what was it, 150 million?
They've spent
one player
over $500 million since Todd Bowley came in last year.
In 1 year.
More than La Liga completely. It's crazy.
And you go and lose against Nottingham Forest.
And your signings can't just put one away.
I saw a compilation of Moises Caicedo just losing the ball all the time.
I was gonna say I saw a highlight of Modric. The ball came off of a deflection out of the box, and a player was coming up to rip it, and Modric got in his way and tried to trap it and gave it to the other team.
Dude.
But yeah, and then there's the play of Nicolas Jackson right in front of the goal that he reached out for it and kicked it over instead of just kicking it forward into the net. This team is
salty.
It's literally están salados.
Están
they
bien
got
salados.
Something going on.
Necesitan ir con un huevo a limpiarles a todos.
Yeah, dude. Somebody did some brujería on these fuckers, dude. Somebody needs to call their tía una limpieza,
Algo, because they're struggling.
For real. You know who's not struggling after this past weekend? My Arsenal.
Jeez. I don't know if they're not struggling. I thought they barely.
They're not struggling. They're doing okay.
Yeah.
They're not bad. Before this, we had questions. Now, do we still have those questions? Yeah, maybe. We'll see as they go. But, yeah, they beat United 3-1.
Yeah.
And the second half looked good for Arsenal. They looked strong, especially the last 15. They looked very good. I thought this was a good game for them. I also thought it was a pretty bad game for United overall.
They got Harry Maguire came in for El Carnicero because he got injured.
Carnicero got injured, and then Lindelof came off exhausted.
What?
The last 10 to 15 minutes, a good amount of the United squad could be seen with their hands on their knees, dead. And Lindelof in the back was the one that mainly was. I saw him at least 3 times on camera. They were kind of swinging the ball around the back, and he was just gassed. And I was like, bro, you're in the back. Send some long balls, catch your breath. As a center back, that's what you need to do, right? If you're dead while the ball's over there, you're catching your breath and you're getting ready for that next sprint, right? But no, he looked dead.
I'm wondering what's going on.
And he ended up getting subbed out. And if you already took out Licha, you need to stay in there. You're the guy. They don't have Varane right now. You have to stay in there. And he couldn't, so they brought in Johnny Evans, their 35-year-old Northern Irish center back, and Arsenal went to town with 10 minutes.
Yeah, and finally Declan Rice gets a goal.
The 96th
corner. The 96th. So that's kind of my concern with Arsenal. It's like, yeah, they got it done at the 96th, right? You would have had, if you wouldn't have had those injuries, or maybe wouldn't have that much extra time, would they have gotten it done, right? So that's the main issue.
That's
I
the
mean,
big
I guess
question. They did look a lot better with Gabriel Jesus. He came in the
like
75th.
he's coming back. Gabriel Jesus, he scored a banger. That defender, which was the 35-year-old or Dalot, he did him dirty, and Gabriel Jesus finished like a real 9.
Yeah, it was Gabriel. It was Dalot, and then they made that meme of him continuing to
yeah.
slide for like forever. No, yeah, Gabriel Jesus seemed to bring in and to come in and bring a spark.
Mm-hmm.
They looked a lot more electric once he was in. So it's another piece to the puzzle, another strong piece that Arsenal can use in their repertoire to try to get back on the level that they were before. So yeah, they look good. United did not look good. You're hoping Licha's not injured for that long.
Because Shaw's out too for a while.
Shaw's out, Varane's out. Like this back line's getting very, very thin. So they'll have to piece together what they can. They're losing players like Anthony. They're finally getting Højlund, who played his first couple of minutes. Didn't look that good. I mean, didn't really stand out.
Yeah.
But now they're probably going to have to use Garnacho. Now they're probably going to have to try to bring in Pelestri. I don't know. Like, that bench is getting thin. They did get Sergio Reguilon from... The last thing for the Premier League that was good, Liverpool beat Aston Villa 3-0. Aston Villa looks good when they look good, and then when they don't look good, they get smacked.
They look terrible.
Week 1, they lost 5-1 versus your Newcastle.
Yeah.
And then they go against Liverpool, and then they lose 3-0. And in between them, they won everything. They beat Burnley. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. 3-1. And then they beat Everton. Oh, that makes sense. 4-0.
And then they went to Europa League, one of those.
Yeah, they beat Hibernian.
Like 6-0 or something like that.
8-0 in aggregate. Holy
Jesus Christ.
Holy, ni les dieron chance. No, yeah, but I think Aston Villa's got it. They just maybe are struggling with the top squads, but
they need some more depth, I guess.
They're getting that depth though. They signed Zaniolo from Galatasaray. They signed Clement Lenglet.
Oh shit!
From Barcelona on loan. They got Pau Torres in that back line from Villarreal. Yuri Tielemans in the middle. I think they're doing okay. Well, let's see if they pick it up. All right, Cesar, let's bring it back to La Liga. Real Madrid won 2-1 versus Getafe. And who scored? Jude Bellingham, el goleador de la Liga.
El goleador.
El papá. In the 95th minute. And Aquiles, shout out to Aquiles in the Discord, had to throw out there that it was an easy goal because he got it off of a rebound from the keeper, spat it out.
He has to be there in order to score him.
Yeah. And it's your center mid.
Yeah,
being there, dog. That was everywhere.
Yeah, it was the first time back at the Bernabeu, newly renovated. We've seen like crazy videos of how they take care of the pitch and everything.
It's crazy,
right?
The fucking movement and shit. How they can.
Yeah, they like split it out into like pieces, like long strips, and then they take care of it underground. They got like artificial lighting.
Do you think they do that too so that they can have concerts and not fuck up the stadium?
Yep.
Sheesh.
Multifunctional.
Aprendan el Estadio Jalisco
and el Azteca también.
El Azteca. They bring Maná and then they can't play on it for a month.
Yeah, so, but another note that I wanted to add was that Jude Bellingham said, when I scored that goal, that stadium was the loudest I've ever been in. It's the loudest stadium I've ever been in. Louder than the Borussia Dortmund, the
Yellow Wall.
The Insugni Park.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. He's the friggin' star right now. No Cristiano, no Benzema, no problem. We got Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, this dude is literally the Galactico by himself, carrying that squad no matter what. They need for Champions League, they need to figure out alternative solutions, help, because you're playing the best of the best, and they'll figure out ways to, I mean, nobody has, but to isolate him, to chill him out a bit. So other players need to pick it up by then, but until now they have had no problem with it, and they're thriving.
As long as like you don't get more injuries, Jude doesn't get injured as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right now if he gets injured, it's like
who do they got?
It's like set off the alarms because like we're gonna be struggling for a bit. But yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if the acoustics in there must be crazy.
Yeah,
the stadium looks wild. It's like pinche parece nido. There's like no fucking.
Y los de acero todo. And then they have like lighting where like projects an image también. It's crazy. It looks dope as fuck. Y luego también se abre de arriba o se puede cerrar el estadio. Está chingón, man. Barcelona needs to step it up with their stadium because they're getting it renovated.
The new Camp Nou.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Y la Azteca's getting renovated too. They need to step it up.
No le van a hacer ni madres, güey. They're just going to like update the bathrooms for the World Cup. Yeah. Speaking of Barcelona, they beat Osasuna 2-1. And Barcelona, they've been trying to get that job done. Lewandowski scored. Ya pa que se calle el güey, no ande chillando. But, I mean...
They got it off of a PK. I mean, they still count.
They do count. It doesn't really help your argument. Like, if you're, like, trying to be...
Like, I'm back on track.
I'm back.
You kind of scored off of PK.
Nah, you ain't. Jules Conde got a goal.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting the job done. It's kind of what you want right now, just because you're getting pieces in as well. You got super young players. Gavi or Pedri, one of them got their ear.
Yeah, it was Gavi, the younger one. He got hit in the ear, and he's training with a head like a fucking helmet,
like Peter Sech.
Yeah, basically, he's wearing a helmet to avoid any further injuries.
Yeah, he got it sewn up. I seen some pictures.
He burst open.
Yeah, he got stitches.
Oh, god damn!
So it was pretty gnarly.
Por mocoso el güey.
Pues ahí andaba de chile frito.
Sí. Silver tooth activities, dog. That's what happens to you. Cuando te caes del pinche trampolín, pues te van a dar stitches, cabrón.
Sí, güey.
All right, let's bring it on to Germany, to La Bundesliga. Same shit that happens per usual. Bayern's at the top, tied for the top, no?
Yes, because Leipzig. No.
Bayer Leverkusen. Los Xavi boys. Yeah, Bayer Leverkusen won 5-1 versus Darmstadt, who's getting it from all ends from every team.
Yeah, they just got promoted, so they're the Luton of Germany.
Yeah, don't get too comfortable. They're in first by full goal differential. Bayern won 2-1 over Borussia Mönchengladbach, and no Harry Kane goal. Yeah, Bayern's still killing the game. They're looking strong. We'll see if any team can keep up. Stuttgart, yet a note here. Stuttgart won 5-0 over Freiburg. Yeah. And Stuttgart was in that relegation promotion playoff game. And they won handily, I'll say that. But yeah, now they're in third place.
Yeah. Granted, it's only been 3 games, but they've started off really well.
Like Freiburg was good last season. And to beat them 5-0.
And they're in Europe, the Conference League. Freiburg is. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's really good for Stuttgart. And as, Pablo Pardo was there, so it's good to see them, competing.
Desde La Cuna.
Let's go. Maybe that'll be my team in Germany.
Stuttgart, now that they're kind of saved.
Now that they're kind of good. And then isn't your homie from Stuttgart?
Yeah, Jonas. Shout out to boy Jonas. You don't listen to this. I try to get you on this podcast, pero no entendiste, güey. All right, let's take it on to Italia, to La Serie A. La Lazio, they beat Napoli 2-1, which is a bit surprising because last week they lost to our boys, los de Genoa, 1-0, and then now they just beat the champion.
Yeah, and they sit in the top of the table, I mean. Or not top, but they're like second or third.
But that's what Napoli gets for letting the boy Chucky go.
They're like in 6th. Napoli is. They started off.
They got Kvaratskhelia back. But he's not 100% yet. Seems like it, but him and Osimhen are still there, but they're not looking same level. I would joke around and say they're missing Chucky, but that fool would come off the bench. So what the fuck does that matter?
Yeah.
But there's something there. Something's not in the water anymore. Napoli's currently in 6th place. 3 games in. If they would have won, they would have been at the top. So, I mean, it's not too bad. But friendly faces at the top. Inter, Milan, and La Juve, top 3. Milan beat Roma 2-1, and Roma is in relegation after 3 weeks. They're right at the top of the relegation zone, but they are there. So a ver cómo les va. Too early to call for a lot of these.
Yeah. Like we say in relegation, but then I feel like I have to add, it's only been 3 games.
Yeah, you win 1 game. Yes, Lufas. You're good. Especially because a lot of these actual relegation teams, they win like 5 games in the whole damn season. So like if
like
you're
the law of averages.
if you're a normal team and you can win 2 games back to back, you're basically saved. Torino beat Genoa 1-0. Our boys lost off of a 94th minute goal.
Yeah, that was tight. Johan Vasquez played the whole game. I feel like last weekend he had a better game than this weekend, but they moved. They've won 1 game, so that's better. That's a decent start for their standards compared to 2 seasons ago. So yeah, they just keep going.
Yeah, but they put him at outside back, which is kind of funky.
Yeah, it's just the way they play.
Yeah,
it's like I wish when they play with 3, they do put him as like the left center back.
But yeah, it's kind of funny how like the way that soccer works. Like last week they beat Lazio, who's in first place now, and then this week they play what you would think would be an easier team, and they don't.
Yeah,
they stink it up. Italian milk, Lecce. I feel like we have a whole segment about it just because of their name. But yeah, they beat Ochoa boys Salernitana 2-0. And your boy Ochoa, couldn't pull off any miracles in this game.
Yeah, he can't do everything.
Can't score for them.
He can't score for them. So he needs help. Lecce has been doing pretty well. They beat Lazio, like we mentioned, and they tied against Fiorentina, who's also a pretty tough club in the Serie A. So maybe they might get up in the top 6, but it's a long season to go.
True. Let's bring on to the Netherlands. In our Santi Jimenez tracker, Feyenoord won 5-1 versus Utrecht. And they did not have our boy Taylor Booth because he's been injured. But Santi Jimenez got a brace. Another brace. 5 goals in 4 games. And he's tied at the top for top goal scorer. But if he keeps his pace, who's going to keep up with him, dog?
Yeah, AZ Alkmaar, one of their players, is tied with 5 with Santi Jimenez. So it's a long season. I really do think he's going to be top goal scorer at the end of the season. He's going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, Feyenoord seems to be working completely towards him, for him.
Yeah.
Like every ball's into him wherever he wants it. If he wants it in the air, boom, through ball, vámonos.
And de todos él anda listo para todo. The first goal the ball wasn't towards him, but the guy that was directed to, he missed it. So he ended up getting...
Yeah, and he got a breakaway, kind of like a little...
Like a breakaway. And the way he finished, I thought was really clever. He spiked with his head the ball on the ground and kind of went through the keeper's legs. When I saw the play, I was like, I'll just touch it around the keeper, but maybe that'll go long. So that's why I thought, it was a pretty clever play from him.
But that's why that fool's there.
That's why that fool's there.
Right? That fool can score con lo que sea. A la Chicharito, casi. PSV won 4-0 over Walwijk. Tillman scored a goal. U.S. men's national team product. Came on as a sub and scored. Pepe also came on as a sub, did not score. So we're still waiting for that dude to really hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And Des started.
Yeah. And then they're having Edwin Lozano coming in too soon.
Damn. That's what's going to be surrounded by Americans.
And that squad is going to be legitness.
Yeah, I mean, Pepe needs to break through. He's a fucking 6'3", physical, lengthy, fast striker.
Yep.
So he needs to figure out a way to get in there with De Jong.
Yep.
Who Luke De Jong is killing it right now. You can't take minutes away from him.
Yeah, I feel like
he needs to figure out a way to go on the wing or the other wing from Chucky. I don't know.
It's just, it comes down to like whatever minutes you get, you have to make him count. And I feel like Luke De Jong is playing among children almost. Like he's a staple at the Netherlands with PSV, and he's been killing it for so many years. Pepe needs to step it up. The minutes he gets, he has to make them count.
Yeah, if the club legend and the young is killing it, they're not gonna just be like, oh, maybe give the kid some minutes. No, they're gonna be like, keep this guy in every minute possible. So we'll see if he can. And that CONCACAF FC over there is just growing and growing with numbers from over here.
Right, it's gonna have 4 CONCACAF players.
Y los que vienen. All right, let's bring it on to Liga MX, folks. América. Your América, you didn't even watch it. Ganaron el Clásico Joven.
I didn't need to. I knew
versus
they
Cruz
got
Azul.
it. I knew it was in the bag.
Yeah, you didn't need to because Charlie Rodriguez got an early red card for elbowing Richard Sanchez in the face.
It's so weird watching him get a red card.
It's like his first red card of his career.
Yeah, he seems like
a nice
super
guy.
chill
He's
dude.
gentle. ¿Qué te va a hacer?
Like even the way he touches the ball and passes it, like
the way he hit him, it sounded like it went like
it's not one of those Cuauhtemoc one. It was like
no, this sounded like it felt nice to get elbowed by him. But Charlie got a red card. Did you see the replay?
I did.
Was it a red card?
It just sucks because the way it's interpreted is the intention. The intent was to elbow him, whether he got him or not.
He did get him.
Well, he did get him.
Yeah,
but like that's why he ended up getting a red.
Yeah,
it's like in this day and age, you can't do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so he got a red for that contact, which I think is totally fine.
Yeah,
but como andaba chingue, Richard Sanchez went in, grabbed him by the arm, and then he grabbed him by the neck with his hand, like almost like a scratch. And then while Charlie was pushing him off, he went straight up knee into the side of the body. Like he got like typical thing. You're trying to piss them off, right?
Yeah,
this is what you do as a soccer player.
Trying to get in their head.
He got a good 3 clean hits on him, which any of those could have been a yellow card. But what happened, Charlie retaliated with a pinche codazo straight to the face. Didn't look that crazy. Or it looks worse in slow-mo.
Yes.
Then in real time, it just looks like he's putting up his arm to like guard, and it ended up smacking him in the face. But it looks worse in slow-mo. And yeah, he got a red card for it, and Richard Sanchez didn't get anything.
No, he walked away with a big old smile.
Yeah, that's how it be. And everyone's making fun of Jurado.
It's just, I mean, I only saw the highlights. I didn't, because I was out camping. I didn't see the full game.
So in 2 of the goals, could be clearly connected back to him being horrible with his feet.
Yeah.
Especially, I think the 2-1 or I don't remember which 2-1 or 3-1. It was really bad. The defenders also had options to not go back to the keeper. They had each other, the 2 center backs, to pass between. They go back to the keeper. The keeper gets a little bit pressured, spits it right into the middle.
Yeah.
Nobody's there for Cruz Azul, and they counter back, goal. And that's when you think, brother, why give back to your keeper, 1, and then 2, as the keeper, if you cannot give it with more advantage to your own player, kick it out. Afuera.
Una de gea.
Rómpela. A donde sea.
Yeah, it just sucks, man. Like, as a goalie, like, once you're down and you've been made fun of for so many years and had terrible performances, like, yeah, they keep giving him these chances, but I feel like he still has a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
like, that right there is lacking confidence. I'm not saying he can't get a pass to one of the players, because I'm sure he can. He's a pro player. Mm-hmm. But it's the lack of confidence, his being nervous, his being just not ready for that moment mentally. That's what's killing him. And like, I don't understand how Cruz Azul and los preparadores físicos, psicólogas, lo que quieras, no lo han preparado para juegos.
I mean, their head of goalkeeper coaching is El Conejo Pérez. I was telling my dad, I was like, dog, that's the GOAT. And he can't prep what's considered one of the best prodigies in Mexican goalkeeping. He can't just get him ready, make him a good goalkeeper. Like, I think it also goes back to it, like, Jurado was considered an amazing shot stopper, right? And that's what a lot of these Mexican goalkeepers are, right? These godly San Osvaldo type vibes. But can they not just play out the back with their feet? Why do they have to be one-dimensional? Why does it have to be in between the posts can stop anything? Brother, we're in a modern game. You have to be good with your feet. How do you expect to go to Europe? No European squad's going to want you if you can't kick the damn ball.
It's just we've never had that player. We've never had that goalie.
But, dude, the game's been like this for 15 plus years. Like,
okay, but you just mentioned Osvaldo or Conejo Perez. It's like Conejo Perez was never like that.
that fool's not good with his feet either.
No,
No, but
like,
that's what I'm
neither
saying.
is Ochoa,
Like,
neither was.
what does it take to
like?
what does it take to transition these players? Like, they have to understand you can't go straight at this guy and complain about him if you never taught him to play with his feet.
Yeah, and
if it's not your big thing in practice, you're like, oh, this dude bajo los tres postes es un perro. Then you cannot complain because he's doing that. He's stopping hella shots, right? But then he fucks up when you give him a ball to his feet, le tiran las patitas, and he gives it to the other team.
Yeah.
Dog, the other team has bright yellow. What the fuck else color do you want them to have? Don't kick it to the guy with the yellow. Don't kick it to the neon guy.
I bet you all he was thinking was just, I'm just gonna kick it.
Yeah, even Franco Escamilla made fun of him
It's a
in his podcast and said like that he'll back him up. He's like, pero esta vez no sé.
Oh, because that was a Cruz Azulista, huh?
I know
yeah.
he's from Monterrey, so I'm pretty sure he's a Monterrey fan, like Monterrey de la Pandilla.
Oh shit. Okay.
No, but he's got love for everything Mexican soccer. Bro, that fool's fucking laughs though.
Yeah, that fool is. I saw him like a year ago.
Oh yeah, you were telling me. I need to go watch that.
But it comes down to just making sure they're prepped and they're ready. It's like, what do you do at practice? You don't give him the ball so he can get pressure and you just pass it. ¿Qué pedo? Like, ¿qué está pasando aquí? It's like it's youth sad. Soccer.
Yeah, it really is, man. They're not taught this. All right, rest of Liga MX, Tigres beat Querétaro 5-0. Guignac was going viral because he smacked a trainer around, if you saw that video, and then also because he was smacking Vigon around in the tunnel on the way out to the game after the half. And people were saying, this fool que se cree, like, we understand he's
smack? I didn't see the video.
He was pushing around and smacking the trainer, and it didn't look super playful. Like, get out of here, get out, hasta para allá, type of thing. And then him and Vigon were coming out of the locker room and como que lo estaba regañando, and he gave him like a couple little sapes. But the trainer one looked a little bit more como que frustrado or some shit. But I don't know, it just looked kind of fucking weird. It's kind of cringy. You're just like, dog, like, it kind of seems like he's, I don't know, he's like above the league or like not taking it seriously or some shit. It just looked kind of funky.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But yeah, Fulgencio scored, I think, a brace. Let me look it up.
Out of the 5, so he scored 2 out of the 5.
Yeah, Fulgencio scored 2 out of the 5. He's 23 years old. He's been around the league for years. Was in that Veracruz that went defunct, and that's how he ended up at Tigres. But he's being called up for the U23 Mexico squad now. He's getting some love, even though we've known him at Tigres for a couple of years now. I thought that fool was almost 30 years old.
He looks almost 30. Jeez.
I'm dead. But yeah, I mean, this might be another gem that Mexico can call up to the main roster.
And I'm glad he's getting minutes at Tigres because Tigres is not known to give minutes to youngsters.
Yeah, that's why I feel like he's maybe not even considered a youngster. He plays like a grown man. He's quick. He gives me young Aquino vibes, who he plays with. So keep rolling, keep busting through. Another 5-0 over the weekend. Toluca won 5-0 over Pachuca. It seems like it's over. It's Jover.
I mean, I think it's over. I don't want to say the word over. I think Pachuca is getting like new generational talent. Because I was looking at the players. The best player for all of Pachuca was a 17-year-old center mid, Elias Montiel.
He's a baller.
He had the most ground duels won and had the most successful tackles from the whole game. So from both teams.
Yep.
He was the best there. He was even better than Chiquito Sanchez. It's like Pachuca is bringing out these youngsters, is bringing out possibly the next Chucky Lozano, the next Hector Herrera, the next Pizarro.
But they've been completely dismantled, right? Like everybody's left, and they don't find replacements for them in time. Like they're just now finding this kid, Elias Montiel, right? But like there's very few players from this last championship, less than a year ago, like a year or so ago. So, and even the extranjeros that they have, the good ones have left.
The goalie left, so they have that young
Stadi left,
25-year-old. But
yeah, so it just seems to me like, I don't know if Almada's trying to. I don't know. It also seems like maybe they needed monies. That's why they're selling so much. But I don't know. It just seems like Almada's trying to make some magic happen with nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it might be a year or two before we see them fighting for playoff spots again. But
yeah, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players that played in that starting or coming off as a sub are under 23 years old.
Damn. I mean, that's good to see. But it sometimes you think it's for good reasons because they're just working that academy. But this one just seems like it's all they really got. I mean, what else are they going to fucking do? But yeah, Monterrey beat my Chivas 2-1.
Yeah, what's going on?
It was a good game. It was a good game. But I mean, Monterrey's powerful, man.
Yeah, it just Chivas lost Monterrey, then they lost against Santos, and then they had a pretty bad game when they tied. Who did they tie?
They tied Juarez.
But
Chivas didn't look too bad. They looked dynamic in the second half. The first half, Monterrey kept the ball away from them. But in the second half, they looked good. That's when they got one back. They got one called offsides, which was the closest of offsides I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, I mean, the big question, I think that's why they signed Don Wilke, is this 9 problem what we need to solve it all? Who around will help them? Where the hell's Alexis? Where's Victor Guzman? I know Alexis was suspended, but more than just being there, they need them to show up, right? I think this is more than anything a big call to action from Chivas that Oso Gonzalez will do as best as he can there. Nene will try his hardest. Roberto Alvarado will do his best. But who's going to step up?
Yeah.
And you need multiple people. It's not just going to be putting Alexis Vega in, because we've seen it. He goes in and he fucking parece pinche metralleta. He shoots from everywhere. But it won't go in. So you need 3 to 4 to 5 players, right? You need more than just one.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Chivas has strong players, but they need that one that's gonna make everybody else.
That's the thing.
Take that next level.
You need them.
You need that.
You need it to glue.
Yeah.
But you put Alexis in on the left. That fool breaks in and mocos cabrón a donde caiga, right? No, you need sometimes Nene will do it, where Nene is the one running everywhere, right? Box to box, and he's connecting the mid to the forwards, the back line to the mid. And Pocho was doing it last year. Pocho was everywhere and Nene wasn't, and connecting that same attack, and he was scoring goals himself. So I don't know if it's a motivational thing. I mean, they also got to get everybody on the field at the same time. But I don't know, maybe brighter days will be ahead for Chivas. Monterrey was a rough one. That was a rough one to try to get yourself back together with. And who's at the top of the league? San Luis.
Vamos.
Desde la cuna, cabrón. Puro pinche San Luis.
Puro San Luis. ¿Cómo su mascota es un perro, pero ¿cómo se les llama? ¿No?
Atlético San Luis, güey. Their fucking logo is just the pinche La Plaza.
El kiosco.
El kiosco. La pinche La Iglesia, no. All right, let's move on to the MLS. In our Inter Miami Messi tracker, Messi just keeps on winning. Can't stop him.
No.
It's kind of wild. They need to do some studies on this. They beat LAFC 3-1. They were up 3-0 versus one of the best teams in the MLS, probably one of the most attacking minded, one of the most dynamic teams in the MLS. After beating Cincinnati, who was first place in the MLS, after beating Philadelphia, who's one of the top teams in the MLS, who's going to stop them?
Nobody. They're gonna
It's crazy.
stop themselves if anything. And La Masia, I mean Busquets, Jordi Alba, Messi are doing all the work.
Yeah, it's literally like
It's like
Jesus.
they're just out there having fun, playing a little cascarita against these guys. And then you have Dennis Boanga on the other side shitting the bed, not doing shit.
For real, do you see Carlos Vela yell at
He
him?
got so mad, and for good reason. He was so wide open for him to just, on his left foot, just curl it in. It's like a goal for sure.
So it's for good reason, but that was early in the game, and that affected Carlos Vela the rest of the game.
Jesus.
Because
Christ.
if you see the game a little bit later, Vela will have some wide open. Boanga doesn't give it to him. Wants to go with his right, and he's a lefty. It's his off foot. So like, ahí como que he had it in the back of his mind, and then the rest of the game he's like hella salty, hella mad at what's going on. And like, I mean, it was a little bit funky. You're just like, all right, dude, ya cálmate un poquito, ya pasó, ya, be the leader. Vámonos.
See.
But yeah, it wasn't working for them. And it was at the point where it was like one of them had to score individually, Boanga or Vela or somebody, and it just didn't happen. And
It's like everybody gets like nervous when Messi comes to town.
yeah, and they just had to take a chill pill, dog.
Just play the game.
1-0 down, dog. You're the better team. LAFC is the better team.
Yeah.
But if you get too carried away, Messi's going to be wide open. He'll drag 3 marks. And then entra al otro way solito. Like,
Yo quiero un güey que lo traiga cortito. Un Gerardo Torrado que me lo traiga así, mira. Me lo tumbe, no le hace.
I'm dead. I mean, every team that they played against has that dog in them. Like, Philadelphia has Martinez in the center mid. He's like Ecuadorian or some shit. Who's like the dirtiest player in the league. He's known for it. Y güey, ¿cómo lo traía? Como pendejito. Yeah.
Did you see Selena Gomez at the game?
Yeah, she
Her
was hella
viral moment?
surprised. Yeah, she was like, "Ay, Dios mío."
It's like, you never seen footy, Miss Selena?
Yeah, I mean,
But hey, I'm happy she's enjoying the game.
there's hella famous people. Aleman, the rapper, was there at the game. Owen Wilson was there at the game.
Tyga was there too.
Tyga was there. Jason Sudeikis, Dwayne Wade. I saw the list of celebrities too, because they have to like, you have to like treat them differently. You get to like walk them in and shit as like when you work in the stadiums. But no, yeah,
That's why they like LA so much.
yeah, apparently. But yeah, it seemed like a super entertaining game. All right, Cesar, let's give the folks something to watch. Give us some games you'll be watching over the weekend. We got an international break.
International break. I got Argentina against Ecuador. We're going to see how this Argentina team comes back after winning the World Cup. It's World Cup qualifiers, road to 2026. And this Ecuador squad is hoping to make it again to the World Cup. They're a tough team, and they're a young team who's hungry.
Yeah, they look good, and they're getting bigger and bigger names in Europe. Caicedo and all these fools.
Yeah.
I got Italy versus North Macedonia, a bit of a meme game, but Italy's trying to get revenge. North Macedonia beat them earlier in the year in these Euro qualifiers. So we'll see if Italy can give it back to them.
And in the CONCACAF, I got Guatemala against El Salvador. You got Fernando Tena against Hugo Perez. Both of these teams have their sights on 2026, and they both looked really good. Well, Guatemala looked better than El Salvador at the Gold Cup, but we know that El Salvador's got some talented players. They've made a lot of scouting to find players as well, so it's going to be an entertaining match.
I'm gonna do these back to back because I got one more than you.
Yeah.
I got Germany versus Japan, another rematch. This one from the World Cup. There's some rumors that Hansi Flick, the German coach, is on the chopping block if he can't get a win in this game or the game against France. I got Mexico versus Australia. Mexico's first match with a full Lamborghini call-up. If you remember the Gold Cup, technically Jimmy inherited that roster. So we got some really fun, cool names. We got some young, fresh names in this call-up for Mexico. We'll see if they can do anything versus the Aussie homies.
And then we also got Uruguay against Chile. Uruguay's got Marcelo Bielsa at the helm. So it's his first official match. So it's going to be an interesting one. and we'll see if they can have a squad that's rejuvenated and this whole new process starting back up. And Chile's trying to make it back to a World Cup after missing the last two.
Yeah, we'll see if Bielsa ball comes
Ball.
into effect. The last one that I got, Italy versus Ukraine on Tuesday of next week. That's going to be tough. I think that's going to be a big one on who makes it. Italy, if they can get some points over North Macedonia. But I think that head-to-head will really figure out who's getting that last spot in their group. And if Italy loses out on another major tournament. All right, Cesar, I think that's all that we got. You want to take us home?
Yeah, man. I mean, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, follow us on our socials. And just keep an eye out for the next episode. Make sure you tell your friends to tune in as well.
One last note, folks. Apparently we're pretty big on Facebook.
Oh shit, for real.
We've had 2 of our last 3 Instagram reels that we also shared to Facebook have hit over 100,000 total plays, and the last video that we just did 2 days ago, it was a joke about how happy Arsenal fans got when Harry Maguire got subbed in for United. That one is almost over 800,000 total plays.
That one's over. It's like 950,000.
Holy shit, we're almost at 1 million.
We're almost at 1 million, man.
Our first anything over 1 million. Holy shit. It's like blowing my mind. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. If you guys see us on social media, if it somehow made it to you but you don't follow us, shoot us a follow. Follow us, subscribe to us on our podcast platforms. We're almost at 100 total subscribers. We're moving. And I don't know. I got a good vibe for this holiday season. We're almost at the end of the year. I got some time off of work. Maybe we'll start doing some more additional content, some fun stuff to keep you guys entertained.
Yeah, and hopefully we got one more tailgate in us this rest of the season, the MLS season. So if you're local to the Bay Area and you listen to us, you want to come out and vibe, we might do one more in October.
Yeah, we need to figure that out still.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. But, we got a lot more things planned for you guys. And we're just grateful to be in this position, man. Just keep growing.
Cool. Well, yeah, we appreciate everyone. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Peace.